Hi there, welcome to the We Are West Grand talk show. My guest today is Becca Bailey. How are you doing today, Becca?
I am well. How are you?
Good, thank you so much for being my guest on the show.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so for our viewers who don't know who you are, tell them a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in West Grand, what you teach, those kinds of things.
Okay. So, I love being outside and adventuring with my husband, my big, giant, fluffy dog Archer, and my niece Maddie. I spend a lot of the summertime camping and fishing and paddleboarding. In the wintertime, I do a lot of snowboarding and skim swimming and cross country skiing. I've been at West Grand for 4 years now, and I teach K through 6 PE and health, and I also help coach volleyball for the middle school and middle school track.
Wow, you're a very busy girl.
I am
You have a
very
lot
busy.
on your plate.
Yes.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, you do yoga on the paddleboard, is that correct?
I do, yeah. SUP yoga. It's challenging, but I love it so much.
That's amazing. I can't even fathom trying to stand on a paddleboard, let alone doing yoga on it. So
It's pretty fun,
that's really
especially the
wonderful.
headstands on the
Oh
paddleboard.
wow, yeah, that would just be me diving into the water is what that would be.
I haven't fallen in yet.
So and good for you. And I hope I didn't just jinx you. But, so when you're working with younger students, especially with both PE and with health, what are kind of your primary goals that you're trying to achieve with your students, and how do you know, or how do you feel that you can demonstrate, or you see your kids demonstrate growth in PE and health?
So my main goal for PE for my K through 6 students is to really give them all the skills, fundamental, teamwork, all of those skills to be lifelong movers. Okay, so to just fall in love with movement and just enjoy how exercise makes their bodies feel so that they can be healthy their entire lives. And for health, with my younger kids, we talk a lot about food groups and what foods should we be eating, a variety of foods through all the food groups because they all give us different things to our bodies. And as they grow older, making sure they're eating, the fresh foods, trying to stay away from the processed and the sugar and the salts. With my 6th graders right now with our new health curriculum, which is totally awesome, we've been talking a lot about, what does tobacco and alcohol and marijuana do to our bodies, giving them those, that knowledge of what is happening if you put those things in your body. So really essentially making them well-rounded, how do I make myself the healthiest I can be? For demonstrating the growth, it's very interesting, especially in the primary grades. It's a lot of repetition and practice, and the one-on-one time with me, helping them with all of their skills. And then as they get older, the big growth happens, especially in PE, when they transition from 2nd grade to 3rd grade, because they take all of those fundamental skills that we've been working on K1, 2, and they put them together in 3 through 6 into the gameplay and the sportsmanship and all of those things. Right now we're doing our gymnastics unit, so all of my K1, 2, they've all been practicing those skills for gymnastics, and now they're putting them together in a gymnastics routine that we'll present to the class in film. And it's also fun too for my older kids because we do a lot of fitness check-ins at the beginning of the year and the end of the year, and we have our sheets and we make our goals for the running tests, push-ups and sit-ups, and our flexibility test, and then I staple them all together every single year so then they can look back to 3rd grade and see how much they've improved throughout the years.
What typically do you see your students when they go back and they reflect? What are some of the things that you hear from your students?
Wow, I got so many more links on my pacer test this year, or when I first started monitoring my fitness, I didn't do as well as I'm doing now, and they get really excited, and so I actually hand those to Brian for 7th and 8th grade too, so they can continue to see their growth because their bodies just change so much and they get stronger and faster. It's really awesome.
That is really awesome. Well, I can tell you when I see the kids, whether it's kindergartners or 6th graders or anything in between, and they're on their way to PE, I know they're very excited and I know they enjoy being around you. So
well, I enjoy them too.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun in the morning to see the kids come in, and you're one of the ones. There's quite a few, but you're one of the ones that when they see you in the hallway, they can't help but giving you a little hug on the way by or high five or whatever the case may be. So speaking of the hallways. When people walk through our hallways here, especially at the K8 building, you'll find all kinds of different colored, different pieces of tape and stripes and all kinds of different patterns. So I know that that's something that you're a part of, so maybe tell our viewers a little bit about what that's for and what your goals are to have that in place.
Yeah, so I've been working with one of our kindergarten teachers, Mrs. Franklin. We've been talking we started talking about this last spring. Like, it's a long ways for the kindergartners to make it from their classrooms down to anywhere in our building. And they're just like wiggly and they want to move. And so we're like, how can we bring this purposeful movement to the hallways, not just for the kindergartners, but for all the students? Like, when I walk down the hallway, I'm not in a straight line, like super duper quiet the whole time. And like, I'm a PE teacher for a reason. I like moving, I like wiggling. And so we're like, okay, how can we do this? Well, one of the teachers in Fraser who teaches PE, we were talking about this purposeful movement in the hallway. And so she gave me the idea and I started researching it more. And so Jamie and I came in on a weekday or weekend and we put the tape down. So, those kids can be, doing purposeful movement in the hallway, but they're still not being, disrespectful or loud, but they're getting their wiggles out. Like, we don't think that they should have to be robots in the hallway. And it's just really fun. I see adults doing the movements, teachers leading their kiddos. Like, it's really awesome. Just that extra little sensory. Yeah, we have like agility ladders and we have hopscotches and we have zigzags. And even the middle schoolers do them, which is really fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. I find it so much fun to watch the kids come down the hallway now. And certainly we want our kids to be respectful when they go through the hall, but this is an opportunity for them, like you said, to get the wiggles out. They're having some fun. They're being very respectful through the hallways, and I just think it's wonderful. So, I mean, I know both you and Jamie were involved with that, and I just think it's fantastic. I really, really do.
They get excited like, Mrs. Bailey, when are you going to put the next new thing out? So it's just really fun.
Well, and I guess it continues to be a challenge for you guys to think of, okay, what's next? How can we continue to ramp this up?
Yeah, and at the end of PE, I have ladders in the gym. The movement ladders, and then outside of my kindergarten classroom too, I have little ladders, so we practice new ones every day, and so they always have a chance to try new things too.
I'm waiting for the day when we see one of our preschool parents come down the hallway and maybe hit the hopscotch or something like that and actually do that. So if you're listening, preschool parents, we're watching for it. So another one of the really fun things that happens here that I really enjoyed seeing take place last year were the turkey trot and the jingle jog and all of those different fun activities that you and Jen Vance do together. So I guess maybe talk a little bit about that, but then also, is there anything special we can be looking forward to this year?
Oh yeah. So we're doing the turkey trot the last day before we go on our Thanksgiving break. And it's just like a really good opportunity for, families and kids to come in and get that extra energy out in the morning. And it's just really fun to see all the parents and grandparents. And we are giving out charms again this year.
There you go.
So the kids really like those, put little charms on their backpacks. And it's a really nice community thing. We listen to music, we have so much fun. And Mrs. Vance and I always dress up fun. And trust me, you do not want to miss our outfits for the turkey trot this year. You do not want to miss. You better be there.
Yeah, we definitely look forward to it. That's always a lot of fun. So I noticed yesterday when I came by the gym, you had I think it was the kindergartners, might have been the first graders, but you were doing yoga. So tell me a little bit more about that. How does that, it looked like the kids were really engaged and enjoying that.
Yeah, so we're in the middle of our gymnastics unit right now, and one of the pieces we focus on in gymnastics is the balancing piece. So the kids really like it because it's challenging. So I think when you walked by, maybe we were doing like the tree pose or something like that. It's just, balancing doesn't really come naturally to a lot of us, so we have to practice. And if you have a chance, you have to ask the kids to show you a tripod and a headstand, which is something that I get to demonstrate to them, and they just think that is the coolest thing. A teacher is standing on her head. So it's really good for them in just a lot of different aspects of that movement piece. So
I think that's wonderful. I really appreciate that. So I really appreciate you being on the talk show with me today. Thanks so much for being my guest.
Thank you for having me.
And as always, thanks for watching. We are West Grand.